The wedding bouquet slipped from Grace Carter's trembling hands just seconds before she was supposed to walk down the aisle. Every guest turned toward the entrance as the man she had loved for 6 years walked away without looking back. Nathan had chosen his former girlfriend over the woman who had stood beside him through every struggle, every failure, and every broken dream. In one heartbreaking moment, Grace realized that promises could disappear faster than smoke, and the future she had spent years building had vanished forever. Yet before the sun would set on that unforgettable day, fate would rewrite her life in a way no one could have imagined. Before we continue this emotional journey, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Kindness Forever if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories to life. Grace had spent years believing that loyalty was enough to keep love alive. Living in Boston, Massachusetts, she worked long hours as a pediatric nurse while helping Nathan build his small business from the ground up. She skipped vacations, postponed her own dreams, and quietly accepted every sacrifice because she believed they were building a future together. But success changed Nathan. As his business grew, so did his pride. When his former girlfriend returned unexpectedly, carrying memories of a glamorous past, Grace suddenly became invisible. On the morning of their wedding, Nathan announced that he had made a mistake years ago and wanted his old life back. The humiliation crushed Grace as shocked family members watched the wedding dissolve into silence. She felt abandoned, embarrassed, and completely alone, convinced that nothing could ever erase the pain of that moment. A few miles away in the same city, Jonathan Brooks, a quiet and private trillion-dollar business magnate, sat alone in his limousine outside another church. Despite unimaginable wealth, his own wedding had ended before it even began after discovering that his fiancée had secretly planned to marry him only for his fortune. For Jonathan, trust had become almost impossible to find. While leaving the church, fate placed him at the exact hotel where Grace had escaped, still wearing her wedding dress and trying to disappear from the world. Two broken strangers crossed paths at the lowest moments of their lives. Neither of them searched for romance. Instead, they found understanding. Jonathan saw not a broken bride but a woman whose kindness had survived betrayal. Grace saw not a billionaire surrounded by luxury but a lonely man carrying invisible scars. Hours passed as they shared painful truths, realizing that both had lost faith in people on the very day they expected to celebrate love. Jonathan believed that genuine hearts deserved another chance, and Grace slowly realized that life had not abandoned her, only redirected her. As evening approached, Jonathan proposed something completely unexpected. Instead of allowing the worst day of their lives to define them forever, he suggested that they begin a new chapter together with honesty, patience, and respect. There was no fairy tale promise of instant love. There was only a commitment to heal together and never betray one another. Surrounded by only a few witnesses, Grace married Jonathan that very evening in a quiet courthouse ceremony. News spread across America overnight. People could hardly believe that the woman abandoned at the altar had married one of the wealthiest men in the world before the day had ended. Many assumed Grace's life instantly became perfect because of Jonathan's fortune, but reality looked very different. Wealth could purchase mansions, private jets, and luxury, yet it could not erase emotional wounds. Grace continued working as a nurse because caring for children reminded her that compassion mattered more than money. Jonathan admired her humility and slowly found himself healing through her quiet strength. Instead of changing Grace, success simply gave her more opportunities to help others. Together they funded children's hospitals, scholarships, homeless shelters, and programs for struggling families throughout the United States. Their greatest investment was never in business but in restoring hope to people who believed life had forgotten them. Months later, Nathan saw headlines celebrating Grace's charitable work rather than her marriage to a billionaire. For the first time, he understood what he had truly lost. Grace had never needed expensive gifts or luxury. She had only wanted loyalty and respect. Regret became the price of his selfish decision, while Grace no longer carried bitterness in her heart. She had learned that forgiveness does not excuse betrayal, it simply frees the wounded person from carrying pain forever. If this story has touched your heart so far, please support this video by liking, sharing, subscribing to Kindness Forever, and telling us where you're watching from. Your encouragement inspires us to continue sharing stories of hope and second chances. Special request: before this story ends, please leave a comment telling us whether you believe true love always finds the right person at the right time. Grace eventually realized that the greatest miracle was not marrying a trillion-dollar tycoon. The miracle was discovering that losing the wrong person had opened the door to the right future. Every painful goodbye had quietly guided her toward a life filled with genuine love, purpose, and peace. She understood that broken hearts can heal, unexpected endings can become beautiful beginnings, and the darkest days often prepare us for blessings we never imagined. Her story became a reminder across America that kindness never loses its value, faith should never be abandoned, and sometimes the greatest victory begins with the moment everything seems completely lost. The day Grace was abandoned did not become the day her life ended. It became the day her real story finally began.